happening now. The heat wave is here with the hottest June day on record at Sea-Tac.
And we're not done with the heat just yet. In fact, as we go through the day tomorrow, temperatures going into the triple digits near 110 in the 7-day forecast. We'll break it all down.
We have team coverage on how you can stay cool
That water is very unforgiving.
and what you need to know to stay safe. King 5 News starts now. First tonight, it is a scorcher across western Washington. Seattle hit 101 degrees today. That makes it the hottest June day ever recorded at Sea-Tac. And everyone is just trying their best to stay cool. Sky King flew over Golden Gardens Park today, and a lot of people on the beach and in the water doing whatever they can to beat this heat. Good evening. Thank you for making us part of your Saturday. I'm Steve Solis. We have team coverage on this heat wave. We want to be in tonight with meteorologist Craig Herrera. So, Craig, what's the latest here?
Boy, Steve, so 2 records for the month of June so far, very close to all-time records. Let's get started with that because it is one hot day, and this is just the beginning. We have 2 more days of record-breaking heat. So first, you mentioned Sea-Tac reaching 101 so far, the old record for June specific. 96 back in 1955. Bellingham has set a new June record as well. So far at 94, the old record 93. Also set back in 1955. Where do we go from here? Just continue to go up and up and up. Now on the map right now, we're sitting at 94 in Port Angeles, 94, 101 Bremerton, 102 Shelton, 100 Puyallup, 101 Olympia, 101 in Renton. Look at the map. It is just lit up, and this is unprecedented. How many times do we get to the triple digits? Not often, only twice since we've been going back to Sea-Tac records, 4 times total for Seattle. Temperatures running anywhere from 2 to 15 degrees warmer at most spots. A little bit of a breeze right along the coast, Hoquiam, but even then it is still hot. We have the excessive heat warnings for the entire state through Thursday east of the Cascades, west of the Cascades through Monday night at 9 p.m. And Monday is when the heat peaks. We've got a big area of high pressure just not going to break down. Highs tomorrow. I just want to give you a peek of tomorrow. 99 Blaine, Forks 104, Port Angeles 94, from Seattle to Woodinville all the way down to Chehalis and Raymond. Temperatures well into the triple digits. 104 for Seattle, 108 for Puyallup, Shelton 108. Steve, I got 110s in there for Monday. That's coming up in just a bit.
Oh, man. All right, Craig. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing about that. So when temperatures do skyrocket, many people look for relief in local waters, but that is a situation that can be dangerous if you are not prepared. King 5's Amy Marino is live in Falls City, where it's already been a busy day for those who are called in to help rescue situations. Amy.
Good evening, Steve. Yeah, it has been a very busy day here on the Snoqualmie River. Take a look over there. That's one spot where people who are tubing down the river can get out, and you could see a lot of people getting out of the water. It's also been busy for local dive and rescue teams. We've seen several boats go in the water to help out people who were getting in trouble.
Hopefully he's not going to let me down.
On a record-setting day in western Washington, it seemed like the place to be, even if you have air conditioning.
We just bought a little portable air conditioning, but we just still needed to get out of the house.
But Nathan Gregg isn't relying on his ducky to keep him safe. He's riding shotgun with a life jacket. Local dive and rescue teams have called in extra crews for the weekend. There's a direct correlation between rising temperatures and water rescues.
The ambient air temperature is 90 or higher, but that water is still in the, 37 degrees. It's cold. We do wear a dry suit.
Lieutenant Scott Fleming worries the next few days are going to be especially bad.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid between the Green River, the Snoqualmie River, the Skykomish River, we're going to actually probably have a fatality.
While life jackets aren't required on inner tubes, they could save your life. They are required on paddle boards and other boats. But if you ask the professionals, they say you shouldn't get in the water without one of these.
I want you to have a good time. I want you to survive the good time.
And Lieutenant Fleming said he doesn't want to discourage anyone from coming out and trying to beat the heat out here. He just wants people to be especially careful. When you keep in mind, he said the temperature in that water is about 37 degrees, and we're talking about temperatures right now just below 100 degrees. That's a 60-degree difference in temperature. If you jump into that, that could really shock your system. We're live tonight in Falls City. Amy Marino, King 5 News.
Amy, thank you very much. We do know that one man is in the hospital after after going under at Star Lake in Kent. The King County Sheriff's Office says that man was paddleboarding when he went under last night. Rescue swimmers managed to find him and pulled him out of the water. We are told this man did not have a personal flotation device. There's no word yet on that man's condition. People were up at the crack of dawn this morning to get their hands on any way to keep cool. There was already a line for air conditioners at this Lowe's in Seattle's Bitter Lake neighborhood well before that store opened up at 6 a.m. It's not clear how many air conditioners Lowe's had in stock, but if you need one, your chances of finding one right now are really slim to none. So people's really spent much of today looking for ways to stay cool. King 5's Natalie Swaby is live in West Seattle with some of the options the city's offering to help people escape the heat. She joins us now in West Seattle with more. Natalie.
Yeah, hi, Steve. Yeah, really important to escape this heat because it can be dangerous, but also it's a beautiful day out here, and we're noticing people take full advantage of that and in smart ways, too. You can see over my shoulder here, not only are these people out here enjoying this day, but they have a tent, they're in the shade, and then out here on the water, we've seen paddle boarders out here today, people on rafts. And a short distance from where we are, there is Seattle City Park's outdoor pool, the Coleman Pool. Short time ago, we went inside and found it wasn't too crowded, but that's by design. The manager here said they have a staffing shortage at the moment, and as a result, they're operating at 25% capacity. And here you can get your tickets for 1-hour sessions in this pool, and they offer 5 of those sessions daily. Among the guests today, a father and daughter, Jay and Kendra O'Neill. They recently moved from California to Seattle, and they say they're used to warm weather. Temperatures in the 90s or even triple digits. That's not new for them, but they told me this heat wave did surprise them.
I didn't think it was going to be a big deal because California has AC, but our apartment does not, so it's a big deal.
What was it like in the apartment overnight? Has it been hard sleeping? I mean, how hot has it gotten?
I would say it's been really hot. We had to buy some fans, and they were all out of AC at Home Depot, so we just had to keep them running all night.
Yeah, and as they mentioned, so many people in Seattle, throughout Washington State, don't always have that air conditioning to fall back on. That's why that family says they plan to be back at a pool again tomorrow. The pool here, Coleman Pool, is open daily from noon to 7 o'clock. Now, the city of Seattle is offering more options to help people escape the heat, including cooling centers inside some city libraries. We have more details about that. That's available at our website, king5.com. City is also reminding people, especially with this heat expected to linger for a couple days, they say try to stay cool in shaded areas or in a place that has air conditioning and avoid those outdoor activities, especially between the hours of 10 and 4 p.m. when it can be the hottest. Live for now, West Seattle, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
Natalie, thank you. Very important stuff there. As temps do heat up, a reminder, do not leave kids or pets in cars. Temps inside can quickly rise and be dangerous, even deadly. The State Department of Transportation says 90 degrees can become 109 degrees in just 10 minutes, 124 degrees after 30 minutes, and 130 degrees, 33 I should say, after 60 minutes. Now, local hospitals say they are prepared for this record-breaking heat. They expect more cases of heat stroke, severe dehydration, and near drownings as temps rise this weekend. Seattle Fire EMTs who respond to initial heat-related calls will send people to the hospital if they see signs of severe illness, like if you stop sweating or feel disoriented. Dr. Steve Mitchell heads Harborview Medical Center's Emergency Medicine Department.
When we come across times when we know the weather is going to be very, very hot, we just review our standard protocols and making sure that we have the proper supplies on hand as well.
Mitchell says Harborview's ER is also looking ahead to the 4th of July weekend when emergency rooms typically see more fireworks-related injuries. To highlight the wildfire risk in our state right now, this is a look at the map from the Department of Natural Resources. It shows all of western Washington now considered to have moderate fire risk. But if you head inland towards central and eastern Washington, that risk climbs to high or very high. And because of these unusually hot and dry conditions, there are several burn bans across our region. Bans are in effect for Skagit, Snohomish, Kitsap, and King counties. If you want to keep track of this historic heat, get the up-to-the-minute updates with the King 5 weather app. Just text the word app to 206-448-4545 and we will send you a link. New tonight, one person is dead after a shooting in Seattle's Georgetown neighborhood. It happened around 2 this morning. Washington State Patrol troopers were called to the ramp from Michigan Street to northbound I-5. That's where they found a driver of a car had been shot dead. No one's been arrested yet. No other information has been released. Seattle police had to move out crowds at Golden Gardens Park last night. The city recently changed the hours to try to cut down on the crime and the noise. And now closes at 10 o'clock, and those bonfires have to be out by 9:30. Police told us anyone sticking around past 10 could be arrested. A traffic alert for you tonight. You probably want to avoid I-5 near I-90 this weekend. All but one of the southbound lanes is closed. Fires slowing down rescue operations at the site of that collapsed condo in Florida. Coming up, the latest on the search for survivors. 5 people killed after a hot air balloon crashes in New Mexico. Witnesses describe that devastating scene. Plus, next to fans, cold water will be in high demand this weekend. We're going to take you to a local spot where you can get cold water right from the source. King 5 News is back after this. So if you prefer to stay away from beaches, but you still want to beat the heat, there really are plenty of options. Splash pads, spray parks, wading pools are all starting to open up again. As of today, nearly a dozen pools and spray parks will reopen in the Seattle area. Another 10 open in Tacoma. In Skagit County, Mount Vernon just got the water flowing again at Kiwanis Spray Park. If you're looking to check out the newly reopened Wild Waves, you got to act fast. Those tickets are selling out quick for this weekend, but we do think, at last check, they have some available for Monday. And next week, July 1st, the Seattle Armory and International Fountain will reopen to the public. All right, some are seemingly not bothered by this heat wave. That would include, well, just really these whales. Sky King spotted them just west of Fox Island a short time ago. And really, Craig, the reality is those whales are probably some of the very few creatures in the Pacific Northwest that have any relief from this brutal heat.
And they are so beautiful, in fact, yeah. And Steve, you know what? This is just the beginning. As we go through Sunday and Monday, things are going to get hotter. It's rare that you talk triple digits. And when you've got 3 days in a row of it, this is historic. Let's get started right now with the shot as we look out from Westport. Look how beautiful it is here. Boy, lots of people out enjoying the sunshine, nice and calm, no sea breeze, not much anyhow. Certainly no marine layer. A whole lot of dry air over us. So far, Sea-Tac has reached 101 degrees. Average for this time of year is 73. We are going to see overnight lows in the 70s tonight and tomorrow and Monday. Record for today is 90 degrees, and the June record is 96. We have beat a June record for Sea-Tac as well as Bellingham, as I told you earlier in the show. So current temperatures, we're still sitting at 94 in Everett, Puyallup 100, Olympia 101, Chehalis 99. Just incredible to see these numbers on this side of the Cascades. Bremerton 101, same as Wenatchee and Ellensburg. Temperature change compared to 24 hours ago, up to 15 degrees warmer, most spots around the Sound. Excessive heat warning for the areas west of the Cascades all the way to the coast will go through Monday evening. East of the Cascades, those are in place until Thursday evening. Notice not much in the way of cloud cover. High pressure is over us, and we switch over now to the water vapor to show you all of that darker color there. That's just a whole lot of dry air getting pulled up and then eventually gets wrapped back around as we start to go through Sunday and Monday, warming us up even more. As we look at some of the major cities around the lower 48. 104 for Seattle tomorrow, 115 in Portland, hotter in Portland than in Phoenix. Seattle warmer than most spots like Dallas, Houston, Wichita, Louisville. So it's just unprecedented. Let's pause a moment with Craig and say hello to Luna, who wants to remind all the pet owners, hey, yeah, you got to take care of the little ones. If you get them out for a walk, it's got to be early because by 9 a.m. it's already 86 degrees or so, most spots, mid-80s, 101 by the afternoon. Remember, the pavers in your backyard could also be pretty hot. Overnight lows. Look at this, Seattle 72. I just showed you the average high for this time of year, 73. Most of us are going to be in the 60s and 70s. Now look at the numbers for tomorrow. Friday Harbor 97, mid-90s again for Port Angeles. That'll be 3 days in a row. You hit the mid-90s yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Bremerton 105. 107 Issaquah, North Bend 110. These are not typos. Unbelievable. When you look at these numbers on the map, every single city we've highlighted is in the triple digits, and we're not talking 100 to 101. We're talking 105 to 108. Along the coast, you've got some 80s, 90s, and even close to triple digits. 7-day forecast. I mentioned Sunday and Monday, the two hottest days. There you go. Monday, we're now bumping it up, Steve, to 110 for Seattle. It's not till Tuesday that we drop about 10 degrees, 10 to 20 degrees, but it is still going to be very hot. Take it easy out there, folks.
It's one of the few times we want the weekend to be over already.
Seriously, you're not kidding.
Craig, thank you so much.
You got it.
Free water for all who want it. Just ahead, the Linwood well that's attracting people from all over. King 5 News is back after this.
Monday at 11 on New Day, one woman's fight to save her name takes on a country music mega band. And no one ever talks about the 4th trimester of pregnancy after the baby is born, but we will on Monday.
Meals on Wheels drivers are checking in on their clients during this heat wave. Senior citizens are really one of the most vulnerable groups when these temperatures rise. So the drivers are checking in and delivering extra food.
A lot of people take care of kids and they forget about our seniors. And I really, you know, concern myself to their safety and their health and stuff like that. It's really important, you know, to let them know that we're here for them.
The increased check-ins will last for the next few days. With this extreme heat, staying hydrated is really more important than ever. One of the best kept secrets is cold, naturally purified water flowing 24 hours a day right here in our own backyard. King 5's Chris Cashman takes us to that source.
Yeah, hi there from the busiest nondescript gravel parking lot in all of Linwood. There's a reason that a line is always forming here for well number 5, and as temperatures get ready to skyrocket, I wanted to make sure you knew about one of our most valuable resources, which just so happens to be free. All you have to pay is attention.
It's an artesian well that was drilled in 1957. People come from all over the place, from Olympia, Tacoma, the east side. There's restaurants, beer makers really like this water as well. It's naturally as clean as it can get. Artesian well, it comes from, they call it the inner city aquifer that travels under the ground. There's no pumping. It's filtered through Mother Nature, sand, gravel, and there's no treatment process to this water. It's just a natural, clean Mother Nature water, basically.
Are there any rules?
Common courtesy would be a big one, and packing out the garbage that they bring in. You come here and visit it once a day. We do have signs at 20 bottles. If you have more than that, let somebody get in front of you that only has 2 bottles. The thing pumps out 10 gallons a minute. For the ones that don't like city water, they want something that doesn't have chlorine, doesn't have fluoride, doesn't have the other processes in it, that's more natural, clean, pure. Some of the individuals have been coming to use this well for quite some time. They want it to stay a secret, but the word's getting out, and so it's more and more people come here. It's always busy.
So if you're like me and wondering where this is the 164th Street Artesian Well. Alderwood Water does test this water regularly, and all the information is on their website. We have more news coming up at 5:30. Recording history, why temperatures are measured at Sea-Tac and what this means for the records we're setting this weekend. Plus, it's not just hot outside for us humans. It's also really hot for our pets. How to keep them safe during this heat wave. King 5 News returns after this.
Monday on King 5 Mornings, we are getting ready for record high temperatures. The do's and don'ts of using that AC unit. Also, our summer hack series begins with ways to keep your personal belongings safe when you're at the beach. We'll see you Monday starting at 4:30.
Thanks for staying with us on King 5 News here at 5:30. A scorcher of a Saturday across the area. We hit 101 degrees today, surpassing the daily record of 91 over at Sea-Tac. Well, the records we're expected to keep breaking this weekend will officially be recorded at Sea-Tac, but why is the sensor located there and not in the city of Seattle? King 5's Glenn Farley explains.
The records used to be kept in downtown Seattle at the old Federal Building going back to the late 1800s before being moved out here. But this is the official place where the weather is recorded. It's already hot at Sea-Tac Airport. In aviation, weather is everything, and it's no surprise that airports are well equipped to record our weather. There's a lot of hardware here operated by the National Weather Service. Every second of every day it sends out our current weather conditions. And if there's a record set this weekend, it will be set right here. So this is our official weather station. They record rainfall, snowfall, temperature, other things. But it's almost as if the weather didn't happen here. It didn't happen.
To use one spot like Sea-Tac is convenient in that because it's all kind of relative. But when we're actually tracking how the climate is changing, we're using all those stations. There are 10 climate divisions in Washington State.
Nick Bond of the University of Washington is the state's climatologist. There are other sophisticated weather stations around, but using Sea-Tac as the official station has at times been a bit controversial. It's hardly in a pristine environment. Runways and taxiways absorb heat and then can put that heat back out. And Bond says Sea-Tac often reads hotter than other locations, especially when the wind is coming from certain directions.
When the wind direction is from the north, it tends to be especially hot at Sea-Tac.
Yet there is also value in consistency. Sea-Tac opened in 1947, meaning there's a record here in one spot, nearly 75 years.
To see how things are changing over time, you like to have a record, at the same spot.
So Bond says Sea-Tac can also be warmer than the surrounding area in the wintertime, and he says this is the reason. Sea-Tac sits up on a plateau, so think of it like a table. So if you pour water on the table, it runs off the edge. Well, that cold air will run off the edge of the airport, literally, and that is the difference. We're also an area with lots of microclimates, mountains, hills, valleys, and that also affects how the weather at your place may be different than it is at this place. At Sea-Tac Airport, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
Hospital officials are asking everyone to be on the lookout for signs of heat exhaustion and check in on their loved ones. UW Medicine provided us with an interview with emergency medicine Dr. Daniel Henning. He said symptoms can include excess thirst, feeling weak or dizzy, or in an extreme case, people acting more confused. And the elderly are also inherently at higher risk, so it's a good idea to check in on your older loved ones and your neighbors to make sure they're doing okay.
They may be doing the things that they normally do, and just by virtue of the fact that they sweat less and that they oftentimes start at they might be a little bit more dehydrated at baseline. They are just at higher risk for kind of feeling or being affected by high temperatures.
He also said the easiest thing to do is to drink a lot of water to help your body regulate its temperature. So hot temperatures outside mean even hotter temperatures in your car. The Auburn Police Department shows us how quickly it can become dangerous.
It's only clocking 77 degrees outside. Let's see what's inside the car. All right, we got 142 on the hottest part of the car. We'll try a different spot in the shade. 136. Try to hit the dash here. 141.
Right, Peckham, there's an animal control officer. If he responds to an animal in a car and it looks to be in distress, he says officers will get out of the car and immediately take the pet to the vet. When it comes to your pets, here's a simple idea to keep in mind. If it's too hot for you, it's too hot for them. A lot of pets spend most of their time outside, especially in rural areas. The vets say keep your dogs and cats inside when the temps are in the triple digits. You can still go for a walk, but keep it short. And remember, the pavement can get hot.
When the pavement is really hot, they can actually form burns on their paws. So a good rule of thumb is to just lay the palm of your hand on the pavement before you take your pet out and keep it there for a couple of minutes. And if that's not comfortable for you, then that means that your pet is going to be at risk for burning their paw pads.
Be sure to watch for signs of heat stress like excessive panting. Inside your home, here are a few tips to keep that temperature in the power bill, very important, low. If you have air conditioning, try to keep it a little bit warmer than you would think, 75 or 76. Do your laundry and dishes in the early morning or late at night. Those machines can heat up your house. Also, check in on your family, your friends, and your neighbors.
It sounds like it's going to be horrific. It sounds like it's going to be worse than any other year when I bought fans. So now I just have to find someone to tell me where I should take them, and then I'm going to be back for another load.
So one last tip for your home, flip the switch on your ceiling fan so it rotates counterclockwise. That pushes the cool air down. Look, if you don't have AC, you'll likely be reaching for the fan this weekend. But once it hits 95 degrees inside your home, it's actually better to leave it off.
When the air is hotter than your body temperature, it actually moves warm air close to you. So it actually really it breaks down that cooling system that our bodies have.
You can turn it back on once it gets colder outside than it is inside your home. At that point, try putting a fan near a door or a window to push that hot air outside.
Great advice. Tough to sleep at night. Temperatures are only going to drop to the 70s. Tomorrow, I think we will set all-time record highs, and we'll do it again as we go into Monday. Your forecast coming right up.
Beat the heat with some creative and low-cost solutions if you do not have an air conditioner. Also, celebrating Pride Month. Seattle Pride goes virtual, but the big celebration is still to come.
Celebrate Pride with Evening. From rainbow hair and nails to a gymnastics coach helping athletes find acceptance. Plus, 3 tasty LGBTQ-owned spots you have to try. Evening, Monday at 7:30 on King 5. King 5 Sports is brought to you by Xfinity. Simple, easy, awesome.
But when you need to cool down with these really hot temperatures, you might want to try this.
Air conditioners are in short supply right now, but you can make your own for just 15 bucks. Our own Jake Wittenberg made one using a compostable cooler, 2 dryer vents, and a small fan. For a full tutorial, text the word AIR to 206-448-4545, and we're going to send you a link with some instructions. If you don't have AC, we do have some other creative tips to help you beat the heat. You can place a bowl of ice in front of a large fan for a cool breeze, or try hanging a wet sheet in front of an open window. If there is a breeze, it will quickly lower the temperature of your room. Besides keeping your blinds shut, it also helps to close doors to rooms you are not using. Try using the exhaust fan in your kitchen and bathroom. It pulls hot air up after you cook or take a shower. Also, switch your light bulbs to energy efficient ones. They actually give off less heat. And turn off your tech, computers, TVs. They generate heat. If you don't need it overnight, just go ahead and unplug it. Now, when it comes to sleeping in the heat, experts say focus on the temperature of your body over the temperature of the house. Take a cold shower, put a cold rag on areas where your pulse is strong, like your neck, your wrists, and be smart about your clothing. At night, keep a bowl of cold water by your bed and dip your feet in if you wake up feeling warm. Or try sticking your sheets in the fridge or freezer for just a few minutes before you go to bed. And there are a lot of places set up to help you stay cool in the air conditioning this weekend. That includes malls, libraries, community centers. We have a full list for you, and we can send it to you. Just text the word COOL to 206-448-4545. All right, it is a scorcher, a really hot one. You can kind of tell just by looking at Seattle's waterfront that it is not a normal day in the Pacific Northwest, Craig. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow and Monday, Steve, I think we're going to be setting all-time record highs. This is history in the making. This is a major event for us. And tomorrow's highs, many of us are going to be in the triple digits. And at the coast, the excessive heat warning, it extends all the way to the coast. So let me show you what it looks like right now. La Push, marine layer, non-existent. Very weak breeze there. Over to Hensville. Look how gorgeous this shot is. Temperatures here are going to be approaching 90 degrees or so. Upper 80s by the time we get into tomorrow, even on the northern tip of the Kitsap Peninsula. Highs today, we've mentioned it, so far. Sea-Tac 101 beating the old record, daily record of 90, and setting a new June record, which was 96. Bellingham got to 94 today, now down to 92, but also setting a June record. The all-time record there is 96. I think that record will fall tomorrow. Olympia will fall tomorrow as well. 94 in Port Angeles, 2 days in a row now in the mid-90s for you. Just unbelievable. Shelton 102, Puyallup 100. Temperatures well above where they were this time yesterday. And that excessive heat warning again goes all the way to the coast through Monday evening. Again, a look at the lower 48, 104 for Seattle. Tomorrow, hotter on the west coast than on the east coast. Yeah, you've got humidity and you've got hot temperatures on the east coast. We've got some record-breaking heat here as you look at all the red. High pressure is still here. That gradient just pulling a lot of the hot air our direction. A lot of that hot air comes through tomorrow. An easterly flow also comes off the Cascades, also starts to compress and warm up. So I think record-breaking heat, all-time record-breaking heat is what I should call that, with highs in the mid-90s to about 111. I say that out loud and I still can't believe it myself. All right, let's pause a moment with Craig. Look at Timber having a nice day out in the pool. I saw a couple people buying pools today walking home. Good idea. Also good to keep it in the shade if you can, because it's going to be pretty hot. By 9 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be in the mid-80s, most spots around the sound. Triple digits by the afternoon. Sun goes down at 9:10, comes up tomorrow at 5:14. Tonight's lows, upper 60s, and low to mid 70s. This is the second night where we're in the warm temperatures to start the morning. So it's tough to get some sleep. Got to stay hydrated, especially as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going for 107 Issaquah, North Bend 110, Bremerton 105. 104 Gig Harbor. Just look at these numbers. It's unbelievable. 109 in Puyallup. You head over to the coast. How about Ocean Shores? 87. Forks tomorrow 104, Aberdeen 104, Chehalis 109, eastern side of the state. Numbers very similar to that with 108 to 111 over to Yakima. 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, all-time record highs falling, several of them, I think. We'll do that again on Monday. So some of you will set all-time record highs tomorrow, and then you'll beat those records on Monday. Tuesday, the 91 will feel good, but it's still going to be pretty toasty, Steve, next week.
I don't even know what to say.
I know. I'm speechless.
It's shocking.
This is unbelievable.
The only person to get our mind off all this is Paul Sylvie. Paul.
I was laughing at some of those numbers. Come on, Craig. Still ahead. A bunch of crashes at the Tour de France. We'll show you what caused them. Plus, the Mariners try to get in a game with the White Sox in Chicago. We'll hear from manager Scott Service next.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, we have several reports from Surfside, Florida, including new details about what authorities knew before the building collapsed. And we're getting a ride inside Ford's first electric pickup truck tonight on Nightly News.
King 5 News is sponsored in part by Dairy Queen. King 5 Sports is sponsored by Xfinity. Experience sports like never before with Xfinity X1.
Rain delays the Mariners.
Hi, Paul. Thank you very much. We want to show you a live video now from Sky King. This is over a boat fire on Lake Washington. We are told this is just south of I-90 to Bellevue. This is near the Newport Shores Yacht Club, and we have been told that people have jumped into Lake Washington. Again, this is a very clearly active situation going on here. We are working to gather more information for you, and we'll have it for you coming up later right here on King 5. We'll be right back.
LGBTQIA. I am who I am, proud, every day. And though others may say what they say, our existence is a gift, tomorrow and today. It's called pride, so show it. Let the whole world know it. Stand together, me as me and you as you. Love will always win. This I know is true.
All right, Craig, so are we done heating up today?
I wish I could. Yeah, for today, we're pretty much there. And then as we go through tomorrow and Monday, we're going to continue to heat up a little bit more. We've got that excessive heat warning that goes all the way to the coast right through Monday night. I think tomorrow is going to be warmer, hotter, I should say, than it was today. Look at all of the triple digits on the map, close to the triple digits in places like Blaine, Friday Harbor, and Bellingham, all in the upper 90s. 104 for Seattle, 107 for Olympia. Hoquiam tomorrow at 98. Puyallup at 108, Chehalis 109. So, having said that, I think we are going to see some all-time record highs set tomorrow. Here's the scary part, and the one thing to really think about. We'll set those all-time record highs tomorrow. Then on Monday, we will likely beat some of those all-time record highs. So, we will have 2 to 3 days of triple digits. Here's another look at the 7-day forecast, where tomorrow we're close to 104, 105 for Sea-Tac, which would be a new all-time record. And then on Monday, I'm going 110. It's not till next week that we start to get a little bit of relief. And overnight lows, Steve, only dropping to the 60s and 70s. These are mid-70s for the next 2 nights.
Hi, Craig. Thank you. Nightly News is next. We'll see you back here at 6:30.